Hi there, welcome to Pauley Builds. Today we're going to be building Boba Fett's ship, previously called Slave 1, and they don't want to call it a slave anything anymore, so we're going to build Boba Fett's ship. Let's get into it. Boba Fett was one of the all-time cool baddies in the Star Wars universe. He was the quiet, angry, I'm gonna hunt down and get what I want kind of guy. And he was a neat part of the story. He didn't say a whole heck of a lot, of course. He just went out and got his guy. For them to bring it back in the TV show and make a TV show about it was actually really neat. I was glad to watch it. I can't wait to build this. Well, of course, we're gonna build Boba first. Oh, wow. And they even went as far as they even made the skin tone match the actor. Tamura Morrison, I think was his name, if I'm pronouncing it properly. Pretty neat little thing to do. The helmet, it's got the dent in it, and then of course he's got his little target finder thing that goes on his head. And this most definitely is Boba Fett. This is Boba Fett after he's been with the Sand People, because he's got his black cloak on him. Nice. Really nice. Okay, here we go. Into the ship we go. AKA Slave 1. That's what it was called before. I don't know why they had such a problem with that. It's just a name of a ship in a science fiction world. I like how they've got the actual colors of Slave 1. These don't look like typical Lego colors. So I already dumped out bag 2, but bag 1 had a lot of really neat ways to build things. Typical Lego, they're fantastic at this kind of stuff, but you know, back end of it really does look like Boba Fett's ship. You know, you start to see the resemblance immediately. Once it gets up here, it's vertical, you see the propulsion system, and so I like the use of the Technic stuff in here in the middle to try to adjust and get to the next set of parts and so on. We'll see how that all turns out. I'm sure it's gonna be amazing, but on to bag 2. Wow, so I messed up. Not the Lego set. I messed up with my cameras again. This is the second video in a row. Maybe because I did them both on the same day? Maybe. Anyway, I messed up with my time-lapse video. The time-lapse video is like barely done with bag 1 or like halfway done, and I'm already almost done with bag 2. So you missed out on a lot. Sorry. But I'm here. I'm at this point. I know we already talked about how it's looking. I'm almost to bag 3. We're gonna get close. You're not gonna see a video for the bag 3 reveal, but I'll just go ahead and get into it. This I really like what they've done with, you know, adding on the wing pieces here with Slave 1 or Boba Fett's ship, whatever you want to call it. They've done a lot of really cool stuff with this thing. The use of Technic to make everything fit and actually go and make the corners and angles and stuff like that is actually really neat. We're gonna get the time lapse going from here on out at least. I've got the batteries all set now to where it's actually gonna run properly. Maybe that's something we can invest in. Battery-less. We'll see. All right, after several camera faux pas, we've gotten the majority of it all built. Still got one bag left to go. You're gonna see me dump that out. But we're getting to the point where we put together Mando, because this is all from the Boba Fett Mandalorian story. It does make me wish that I had like the bigger one, because this feels wrong to have just like him one little guy sit down in there, but still a neat little ship. It's a great part of the story. This thing's so memorable from all the way back to episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. I remember it as the second movie. not including prequels, but very unique. And everybody always wondered how the inside of the ship worked. And then when we got to the Mandalorian season 3 or 2, Mandalorian season 2, you got to see how the inside of the ship like turned and everything. And that kind of makes me wish that, you know, I had the bigger one. But this one's definitely very neat. Still has the opening ramp and everything for Boba to get in and out and so on. I just wish it were more to scale to the people, but still cool. But we'll continue on. Here we go, bag 4. Got it done. And it's just cool to see Boba Fett's ship. They made the ramp here to where you can actually take the little pig guy in carbonite. In carbonite, he can actually get towed in down there and the door will still close underneath him. This is also made so you can stand it up. It'll hold up Slave One, Boba Fett's ship. I'm just gonna call it Slave One. You guys are just gonna have to deal. But, you know, it serves two purposes. You know, it makes it so it'll stand up and make it noticeable. Again, I love all the use of all the Technic pieces to connect the sides and hook this up at its odd angle. All those pieces just make it really unique and fun. Of course, it's got its blasters on the bottom, and of course, typical. Let's see if I can do this. Here we go. Ah, short. I gotta do that on all these things. I have to try it. Reload. But, you know, it's got its wings. The only thing that this doesn't have is those seismic charge things, which was actually really kind of neat. That one of the coolest sounds in movies. Fun. And also you have this handle that they actually found a way to link it in to where you can hide it up in the body, but then you can also bring it out and actually hold on to Slave One like that. You know, and kids could play with it. You could do all the anyway, just a bunch of really neat things. The engineer behind this one really had his head on and was thinking about how to get everything adapted. It's a nice touch. It really is. Then you also realize that, you know, here's Mando, Boba Fett. Mando, of course, Din Djarin, and they did what I thought they should have done on the Mandalorian N1 Starfighter, where they showed his face. They showed his face in that because you already seen it in the show. You know, it was one of those pinnacle moments in the show where you got to see Din Djarin's face when he was saying goodbye to Grogu. But since this was pre-seeing his face, they actually put on a no face. They just put on a blank head for you to put underneath there, so that way, because you didn't know what he looked like at all, so they actually, well, you weren't supposed to. You did see him at the end of season 1, but because Grogu hadn't seen him and the rest of the world hadn't seen him before this point, they actually gave him just this blank head. So I thought they should have done that on the N1, Mandalorian N1 Starfighter, but it's, you know, everybody that should have seen his face saw his face. But I thought they finally lived up to that. But a lot of really neat concepts here. They really did a good job going over this one and making it fit the story, the narrative, and then giving you the cool pieces that made it what it was, which was Boba Fett's ship. So I think it would still be really neat to see the full size model at one point, because I'd love to see if they did something to where they can articulate the body inside. But wow, really cool, really awesome. But another great one to put in with the collection. Super thrilled to have this one. Love building my Legos. I hope you guys have a chance. Have a good time. Thank you for joining me today. If you haven't done it yet, you made it all the way to the end of the video, go ahead and hit that like button and hit the subscribe button too. I'll wait. It's down there. Sometimes on the computer, I think it's over here. Subscribe's like kind of in the middle, I think. Anyway, if you haven't done that, please do so. It would really help me out. Any comments or anything would be great. I'd love to have a conversation with you about any of these, or we'll get this channel going. I'd love to see more activity in it. Please, please, please like, share, subscribe. Do the whole gambit. Thanks for joining me today. Go build some Legos. Have fun with your family.